the pleasure of introducing SKYX Platforms. I'm joined by the co-CEO, Lenny Sokolow. Before we get started, I just want to let you know we will have some Q&A at the end. But with that, I will hand the floor over to Lenny. Go ahead, Lenny.
And great. Thank you very much, Patrick, and appreciate the invitation by you and Noble. So SKYX Platforms, we believe we're the future of homes and buildings. We have a short 3-minute video I'd like to play just to make sure everyone understands the 3 primary products we have. And so if I could start that now.
SKYX Platforms. SKYX. The future is here. Advancing, simplifying, while saving time, cost, and lives. SKYX's technologies won 7 CES awards and has nearly 100 US and global patents and patent applications. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb that for many years was installed by twisting hazardous wires until inventing the Edison base that became the global standard in every home and building for billions of light bulbs. Billions of fixtures are installed annually while touching hazardous, dangerous wires and risking lives. SKYX has a goal to follow Edison's path to become a US and global standard in homes and buildings for billions of fixtures, including smart home, AI, lighting, and fans, to become plug-and-play, advancing their performance, making homes become safer and smart within seconds, while saving time, cost, and lives. Our Gen 1 SkyPlug enables a safe installation of light fixtures, ceiling fans, smart home, and electronics within seconds, making it safe, easy, and convenient for the user. First-time installation takes a minute to install, and it is safe to touch. SkyPlug is recognized as part of the NEC, the National Electrical Code, and mentioned in multiple publications, acknowledging the safety and the usability that its technology brings to the electrical profession. Our Gen 2 is a smart SkyPlug, takes only seconds to install, and is integrated with the newest technologies and platforms. The SkyPlug Smart is integrated with many smart features, including phone control, voice control, energy-saving eco mode, scheduling, dimming, works with Siri, Alexa, Google, Cortana, and SmartThings. It has an emergency light, night light, color-changing light. Our Gen 3 Sky all-in-one smart home platform enhances your all-around lifestyle, making your home become smart and safe instantly. It includes the most advanced, smart, and safe features that are necessary for every home. The Sky platform installed safely and simply within minutes to the top center of your ceiling, blending inconspicuously with your decor. The Sky platform is integrated with a backup power failure LED light. In the center of the Sky platform is embedded the Sky outlet, as approved by the National Electric Code. SkyPlug lighting, fans, and accessories can connect with the click of a button to the Sky platform. A series of Sky platforms installed in a home could repeat Wi-Fi signal and play the same music throughout the house. In the event of a fire, the integrated smoke and CO2 sensor would make an alarming sound. The Sky Home app can easily control light intensity, motion detector, light color control, temperature and humidity monitoring, room-to-room intercom, control volume and music in each room. SKYX Platforms.
So that video gives you some idea of our 3 core products. Give you some overview of our advisory board and management. We have a really impressive global team. Besides the founder, Ronnie Cohen, who's our executive chairman, we have Steve Schmidt, former CEO of Nielsen and president of Office Depot International. He's our president. Bob Nardelli, former CEO of Chrysler, Home Depot, and GE Power Systems, very active with us and helped us facilitate our collaboration and our programs that are developing with Home Depot. Al Weiss, former president of Disney Worldwide, which covered cruise ships and hotels, resorts, and a lot of understanding that a lot of those facilities all would benefit from our plug and play technology because it saves time and cost. Our lead director, Governor Tom Ridge, former head of Homeland Security, two-time governor of Pennsylvania, he's been our lead director. I've been on the board with him for over 13 years. And Lance Shaner is the owner of 20 Hiltons and 60 Marriott hotels. He also understands the value of our technology, a plug and play. The branded hotels have to renovate every 7 years. Some often refresh sooner than that. And so, and I'm going to give you a little overview of some of the hotel penetration we're starting for that channel. Mark Early is probably the most important, least known, former head of the National Electrical Code, which is a federal code, handles all the electrical code and safety standards for the country. The states adopt those. And after he retired after over 30 years as the head of the NEC and chief engineer of the National Fire Protection Association, which is the umbrella organization, he came and became an advisor to us and led our code team. He assigned our last and final, hopefully, application for mandatory so that we become a mandated product for homes and buildings. He, along with Eric Jacobson, head our code team. Eric is a former CEO of American Lighting Association, and Khadija Mustafa, former head of global AI and sales with Microsoft. And she's been very active with us as an advisor for the application or Generation 3, especially for utilization of AI and chip performance. She says there's no solution having a hub in a room, whether it's residential or commercial, for data and AI performance. You have Ring, you have Nest, you have all these disparate products collecting information and AI, but the best location is the center of the room and the ceiling. And she says that we have a great solution for that, and unique. Paul Chernowski, former he's founder of the Endurance Car Warranty, and he is our insurance guru, and he believes, along with the team, that when our full product lines launch, we'll have more support and a discount, hopefully being offered by insurance companies, similar to having a home alarm. And Patty Behrens, our COO, our expert in UL and technology. She's one of the US's leading experts in the UL. So what we've done is we've got over 100 patents and patents pending, 45 have been issued. These are global, US, China, India, and Europe. Our whole mission is to make the world, make ceilings and homes become safe and smart, thus the world safer and smarter, and with a whole new world of ceiling technologies and products. We have over 60 websites we acquired in 2023. This e-commerce platform educates and enhances our market penetration. We use it to lead and seed, and we address both the B2C to retail and the B2B to professional and builders. Our total TAM in the US alone is 500 billion. There's about 4.2 billion ceiling installations in the US alone, and does not include commercial. And our revenue streams are from product sales, and in the future will be royalties, licensing, subscriptions, monitoring, selling data aggregation, and country rights. We measure our penetration through how many receptacles, that's the female that's out in the market. We project approximately 40,000 by the end of Q3. And we know that everything that gets plugged into it is also something that we've built, since it's our patents as well on the male and the female, it's something that we will have licensed. So in effect, all roads lead to Rome. It's a unique in the fact that our patents cover both sides. And we're growing our business through all the channels, the B2C, B2B, the builders, the big box like Home Depot, GE, Wayfair, and electrical suppliers, and of course our e-commerce sites, and the insurance company opportunity I mentioned already. 23, 58.8 million in sales, 24, 86.6, and our last 5 quarters have been growth comparatively sequentially. And we did a private equity round starting last October 24, totaling about 15 million, and it was done by all basically our insiders, strategic insiders, including the Marriott hotel chain developer and owner. And so these are the collaborations we've announced: Home Depot, Wayfair, Kichler, which is the world's leading lighting company, Quoizel, the oldest in the US, Eglo, the biggest in Europe, and Rui Appliances, which is the world leading Chinese manufacturer. We have a manufacturing and financial support agreement with them. And we've announced a new Miami urban smart city. It's over $3 billion. It was a recent announcement. It's basically, we are the enabler for all the smart technologies in that. This is downtown Miami. This is Wynwood, where Art Basel is. South Beach is over here in the upper left. And this is a 63-acre parcel. The two large developers have been developing in Miami for decades. Did a 200-year land lease with the city of Miami, and we were an instrumental part of getting this project and making it smart. They're doing this because the smart applications save them time and money, let alone solving the problem of easy integration. And so this is going to include 57 condo apartment units, a new tri-rail station, train station that's going to be there, and a lot of parks and commercial restaurants, etc. And so it's about 350,000 square feet of retail, and of course the high-rise and mid-rise condos and apartments, the 5,700 I mentioned, and the tri-rail station. The architecture firm is a world-renowned firm called Architectonica. Their claim to fame was the Microsoft building in Paris. And so this is groundbreaking. Miami is like a Dubai, and in terms of prominence in the world, and it's attracted a lot of interest from other opportunities. And again, validation of our products and our potential for AI ecosystem. So our 3 generations: one, the plug and the receptacle. Our generation 2, which is the smart plug and receptacle. These 2 are in the market and being sold now. Our app is being used now and in the market for our generation 2. And by the end of Q4, we expect to be in production of our generation 3, which will all work with the app as well. And it's basically makes homes and or buildings, rooms and buildings smart instantly. And so when we approach the regulators, just to remind or refresh, in case you don't know, that these are the major regulatory developments. It's all about safety in the US. You had the wall outlet from 1904. This is avoiding putting in twisting wires and putting in lamps. You had the Edison bulb, and it never became a global standard until they created an Edison base so you could screw in a bulb. And then in the 80s, you had the GFCI, which I know most everyone's got that in their bathroom or kitchen. And that became mandatory in the 80s because people were getting injured and dying from electrical and fires as a result of the plugs in the wet areas. And then in the first 1990, 91, because of the developments of the GFCI, hair dryers, curling irons, and things that were in the bathrooms in the wet area, people were dying, dropping them in bathtubs and sinks and fires. And we went through a mandatory phase where you had to put this GFCI plug at the end of all those small appliances. And today you go into a department store, buy a hair dryer, it's there now, still today. So we come along and we solve this problem of this junction box, which holds 50 pounds by code. You put it in, you're twisting wires, you're trying to juggle the lamps or fans on your shoulder, going up ladders. And we come along and have this safe installation There's a double locking mechanism. Each lock holds, has been tested for 200 pounds each. It's a double ball bearing. Again, this junction box is 50 pounds. And so you had the exit signs, all about safety, emergency lights, airbag, and of course, seat belts. And so we solved this problem of a solution which was needed. We know that it reduces 90% of the installation time and cost. And this is why the builders and the developers and the hoteliers are gravitated to this. You know, besides it being safer and reduces fires and makes these fixtures and appliances and smart devices plug and play. You just plug it, take out the old one and plug in a new one, just like a wall outlet. And so the TAM I went through, and I could share more if there's any further interest. And when we went to the regulators, we just said these are the equivalency of concepts. You know, you had your wall outlet, you have our outlet, you have the junction box, the wall outlet box. And so we basically had the same thing as a wall outlet. And here we plug it in, and here a cord with a plug plugs it into the wall outlet. The unique thing, again, to remind you, is that our patents cover this side and this side, both sides. The guys that invented the wall outlet and had patents didn't patent the plug and whatever got plugged into it, or whatever was developed 20 years later, like a phone charger that plugged into it. So this is unique that we have these patents, and not only that, a third of our patents are anything to do with sensors or smart, so sound, smoke, CO2, voice, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, anything that touches, that's a sensor that touches either side is also our patents, our global patents. And this is what's very unique about what we have. So what's happened, what we accomplished regulatorily, is that we're in over 10 paragraph segments of the electrical code already. And we've also been voted by ANSI and NEMA, which covers commercial buildings. ANSI is the American National Standardization Institute, and NEMA, the National Electrical Manufacturers Association. We got this approval about 2 years ago. It's historic. And what happened is, as a result of all these approvals, these are codified already in the National Electrical Code, is that they've changed after 120 years the definition of receptacle. This is a receptacle, the wall outlet from 1904, and now we are a defined receptacle. And this enables now builders who want to get their CO, certificate of occupancy or permit, they put in a wall outlet, they don't have to plug a lamp in to get their CO or permit. The same thing with our ceiling receptacle or sconce or outdoor. You don't have to put in a fixture or a cheap light and have to change it later to get their CO or a permit. And that's a game changer, that we're now defined as a receptacle. Not only that, they've now given us a generic name. This is also in the code. Just like GFCI, they didn't want to call it ABC Corp. They're not going to call this receptacle SKYX, even though this is our patents. They're calling it WSCR, Weight Support Ceiling Receptacle. This is also codified. And this is groundbreaking, it's historic, and the American Institute of Architects is already training their architects on safety. So the reason why they did this is that their own data shows that there's over 400 deaths per year and tens of thousands of injuries just from lighting fixtures and people twisting the wires in the ceiling incorrectly or not completely. The fixture may work for a couple of years even, but then it could arc and spark and create a fire and smoke, deaths from smoke or fire. And not only that, there's about 500,000 documented ladder falls. This is the data from the National Fire Protection Association, resulting in thousands of deaths and tens of thousands of injuries. This is, and of course, the electrocutions, electric shocks are in the tens of thousands. And so this is why we're in the code. And this is their mandate for the National Electrical Code is if it's a foreseeable death or injury, it's something that they must address. And they have addressed it. Again, our last step is now is our mandatory application. So our strategy has been, razor and blades, installing these receptacles, and then and then our full product line, all patented, When the builder puts in the receptacles or including the ceiling or sconce, they put in our receptacle, and then they light up the building or the residents, anytime they want. It makes it easy. And of course, it's, homes, buildings, hotels, cruise ships, any commercial buildings. And again, the reason why the builders have gravitated to this so quickly is the time and cost savings, because to put in this receptacle may be a minute into this junction box, whether you're using an electrician or not. That's the time element. And then when they want to light it up, it's another minute to go up the ladder and click, 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 click. And you're saving time on installing the actual fixture and a fan, or imagine, and also exit signs and emergency lights are put in like a light fixture. Those are also plug and play. And so what I wanted to do just real quick is just to show you an example of our penetration into the hotels.
SKYX showcases its advanced, safe, and fast install lighting technologies in a Spring Hill Suites Marriott hotel renovation. First-time installation into a standard electrical outlet box takes a minute. In hospitality renovations, every second counts. With SKYX, replacing or installing light fixtures takes just seconds, making it safe, easy, and cost-efficient. Traditional installation of lighting and exit signs takes a lengthy amount of time. Now, with SKYX's technology, an entire room takes only minutes to install. SKYX's installation system reduces significant time and cost while enhancing the safety of the hotel, its employees, and guests. SKYX delivers fast, professional results for hotels and buildings, simplifying renovations, enhancing safety, while reducing costs and time. Design meets function, mirrors with backlighting, installed in seconds with SKYX. SkyPlug transforms maintenance. No wires, no delays. Simply plug, click, and you're done. SKYX. Innovation, speed, safety. The future of hospitality starts here, saving time, cutting costs, while maximizing safety and efficiency. SKYX's technology is approved by UL, NFPA, NEC, and by ANSI, NEMA.
So that gives you some idea of the penetration into the hotels and the easy renovation and refreshment that hotels could do. The quicker they could get those rooms back in inventory, the more money they could make, less money they would lose. And so our all-in-one generation 3, which is the key to our continued evolution into the smart home, basically provides a platform for seamlessly putting in all these features in the home, all integrated, all working with our app. And so we basically took the concept of an iPhone that you had all these different things in your bag, and put it all in one device, all synchronized with apps. That's the solution that we applied here. It's very simple, not inventing the wheel conceptually. And so we're solving this problem. The reason why 97% of the homes in the US and probably 99 homes and buildings internationally is this problem, is that you want to install all separate devices in one room. You got to install different areas. You've got to synchronize. You got to make all the apps work. It could take you days, let alone the cost of those products. And here, with our all-in-one, you're talking about a minute or two, and you click it in the receptacle, and all these work, seamlessly with our apps. And it takes minutes to install. The performance is great, and it's one hub for all these products, including it works with your voice, and you have room-to-room intercom, you have speakers. It's really incredible. So we're very excited about this as we continue to roll out our products. And what this gives is, again, I mentioned to what Khadija Mustafa from Microsoft was saying, is the ceiling location is significant. It could implement a lot of technologies. The chip space here is like 4 to 5 times of an Apple iPhone. And so you have really unlimited electronic real estate. and then you have unlimited electrical power because you're coming right from the building or the home power. And most of everything on here is all low power. So you could harness many devices and products and chips, etc. And then you could still plug your light in the center. So, eventually as we roll out and with the builders and developers, we have monitoring subscriptions, because we have a smoke alarm that alert your phone, your app, but we could call the fire department and, we'll revenue share with with a subscription for service, data aggregation, etc. And so to Khadija Mustafa's point about the location, is most people, let's say, for example, put the Wi-Fi extenders in the wall and the ceiling, and the time you get to the other side of the room, it's really not very effective. Here, when we have our Wi-Fi extender or repeater in the ceiling, like a lot of other things up here, you've got basically 2 to 3 times the range and also the 2 to 3 times the speed. So this is what's critical, and what people are missing in their homes as well for data and speed and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth performance. And so to install a 1 bedroom is a minute, the house is a couple hours with all of our platforms. In a hotel or a building could be a couple of days, not 6 months or a year. So this is a game changer. And you could name rooms, you could name floors, you could, lights on, lights off, dim, etc., all by voice and remotely. And we also think there's a great opportunity for prefabricated. We think that the prefab homes and buildings are growing, that whole business. Outside the US, it's probably over 50% in many countries already. They're building high rises with prefabricated modules. And in the US, it's under 5%. And it's ideal because in the factory, when they're building the modules, they can put in our receptacles. And then when they bring it out to the site and assemble, they could install the smart devices within minutes, And so this is a game changer for that whole business segment, and making all those prefabricated modular homes smart, basically seamlessly, instantly. And so these are all our products, we have global patents on all these hi-hats, this exit signs, emergency lights, outdoor, and all these features are already being used, and they're in the market. And so, and then one of the other big products that we're launching in Q4 is our all-in-one smart heater and fan, and which is a heater, turbo heater underneath, a fan, and both for the heater pushing the heat down and a regular fan for if you want to cool the room, same concept. And the response has been very positive. And so that's our pretty much overview of our products and our go-to-market. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Thanks, Lenny. A few questions here. First off, just what you were speaking about there at the end, the smart heater and ceiling fan, that's being expected to launch here towards the end of the year, and help drive